sad day, sad cry, new stupid way to start a video. Sorry. Sad news. Nintendo is discontinuing. I should just cut that out. Whatever. Move on. Nintendo is discontinuing the Gold Points program. Throughout the Switch's life, we have been able to earn 5% back on eShop purchases. And you know what? It's a good deal. I've always been surprised that we had access to something like this. 5%. You see that number and it doesn't feel like a lot, but like it really, really does add up. I mean, it's just free money, even if it's a small amount. You buy one full price, like $60 retail game, that's $3. Like just if you buy games every once in a while, then just like, there you go. Every once in a while, you're just like, oh, hey, I want this indie game, this like $15 game, and I've just saved up enough gold points for it. Just as simple as that. It's just free money. And that's been really great for me because like I buy games for work. So even if like I would not have normally bought such and such games at full price. Oh, but I'm going to do a review so I can do it and I can write it off of my taxes and all that stuff. And then just like, there you go. There's always some gold points swimming around in my account, just waiting for me to just any old. I'm gonna grab this little thing for my nephew. This looks good. Oh, hey, this is cool. This is on my wish list. Hey, look, it's on sale. I'll grab it with my gold points. It's really nice. But unfortunately, Nintendo is ending the program at the end of March, very soon. Really soon. There was a weirdly small amount of time given. Usually they're like, we're gonna discontinue this thing in March of 2027, they'll give you like a lot of time. But no, not this time. It's like next month, essentially. And the reason that Nintendo has given for discontinuing this program, the eShop was already too good, right? The eShop is already such a joy, just such a joy to navigate. They thought we were getting too soft, We're getting too soft. They want to build a little character. Let's remove the gold points to keep us on our toes. No, they didn't give a reason. But I do feel like the timing, even though it feels a little bit strange not being given that much notice, it kind of makes sense because now that the Switch 2 has been announced, now when they say, hey, we're taking something away from you, and we're not giving you a reason, we can be like, oh, well, maybe it's because the Switch 2 is going to have its own whole system. And that might not be true, but I don't know. That's the way that I see it. I feel like they had to announce it after the Switch 2 was announced officially, but not like immediately after. So that's why we're getting it now, like a month later, but before the end of the fiscal year, because whenever they make decisions like this, they usually want it to kind of line up with the end of the fiscal year. Whatever. But I will say though, yes, it is possible they are discontinuing this program, but they will start a new similar program for the Switch 2. That is very much a thing that could happen. Personally, I feel like not. I feel like that's not gonna happen. I really do think this is just Nintendo not doing this anymore. I think they just, because again, gold points, what is it? It's just free money. And they don't want to give us free money anymore because they like money. They like it when we give them the money. And like, you look at like Sony and Microsoft, like they're not doing anything like this. Like, sure, they've got like deals and coupons and stuff. That stuff makes sense. When you give someone a discount on a game, you incentivize them to make that purchase. Or, you give a game away for free on a service, you incentivize them to sign up for the service. You want to generate more purchases, more engagement with the platform and all that stuff. This was not that. This was literally just free money. It was just like, it goes into my account. It's just a clean process. I can just use that money toward the purchase of any game that I want. That doesn't really help. That doesn't help me. I mean, sure, maybe in some cases you could say someone's like, oh, I wasn't going to buy it, but then I saw I had $5 in gold points, so I bought it anyway. But like, for the most part though, you're just using it to help yourself not spend more money. And that's why I am still surprised that we even had this in the first place. You know, like I'm happy we had it for as long as we did, because I don't even get why Nintendo decided to give it to us. And I'm going to speculate a little bit more. I have to wonder if this was kind of like a carryover from the Wii U, because the Wii U also had a really great digital rewards program if you bought like the deluxe model or whatever. And I think it's because going into the Wii U generation, Nintendo was already kind of sensing that they had a less than ideal product, you know, so they had the multiple SKUs so they could sell it for like a little bit cheaper. And then like the 3DS ended up doing well, but out of the gate, it had a really, really rocky launch. And so like that whole generation, I think Nintendo was kind of a little bit uneasy. And so they wanted to really incentivize people to play games on their platforms because they were weirdly generous. Like, we talk about how stingy Nintendo is now, but like they were weirdly generous during the 3DS and Wii U generation. You could earn like platinum points by buying your games and trade them in on the Nintendo store for like entire just games. Like, I got a bunch of purely free 3DS games just by buying other games. I didn't even buy that many games. It wasn't even like now we're like, oh, for work, I can buy all these games. No, I still had to be really selective, and yet I still got enough points. And they give you other ways to like earn points. And so like I got a bunch of free games. And then on the Wii U, yeah, we had the digital rewards program. And even then they were like, games were on sale for like 30 cents or something for the anniversary thing. And yeah, it just, there were a lot of really affordable games during those days. And I have to wonder if going into the Switch, they were like, okay, we are more confident. You know, they were more confident that the Switch was going to do okay, but they were incentivized to give us all incentive possible. They wanted to make their platform just as shiny and fun as you could possibly imagine. You know, they wanted to give us every reason to purchase and play games on the Switch. And now, at the end of the Switch generation, they're just not in that place anymore. They're not desperate anymore. The Switch is a huge success, and that's why they've never lowered the price of any of their games. Maybe they planned to at one time. But yeah, at this stage, like, why give us free money for the games that we buy? There's no real need. Now, it's true that if the Switch 2 somehow ends up having a rocky launch, like the 3DS or whatever, it's possible that they could kind of reintroduce some kind of reward program. It's something that, it's a card they can always pull out of their sleeve. But right now, nah, it's just, why? And again, I think they had to wait until now. They had to wait until they announced the next system. Otherwise, it would have seemed like too much of a jerk move, you know, at any other point in this generation for them to just be like, hey, no more gold points. And we're like, why? And they're like, we're not telling you. It's just like, okay, obviously you just don't want to do it anymore. At least right now, it kind of softens the blow. Oh, is it because there's going to be a new program? And then there won't be, but then we'll just forget about it. Which again, they technically could, but I don't know. I wouldn't say I'm willing to bet money. Maybe a little money. Maybe $100? Anyone want to take that bet? $100? Is that? Am I willing to part with $100 if I'm wrong? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's. I don't think it's a thing they want to do anymore. Because if it was about just doing something out of the goodness of their hearts, they would have lowered the price of their games at any point in the entire generation, and they didn't. So there you go. So yeah, the program is ending at the end of next month, and then you have 1 year to redeem any points that you accrue. However, I don't think that's going to be a problem for most. Are you going to buy literally anything on the eShop? Well, then there you go. That's not a problem. You can just, I've always loved that about this system. You just pay it straight, and like that's the way it should be. That's the way bonus points should be. It should just be like money you can just pay toward any purchase. But like I'm having flashbacks to the Xbox 360 store. You have to buy points in certain increments, and it's like $5 for 400 points or something like that, and like it was so easy to have leftover points in your account, and it was not as simple as just paying toward a purchase, and it was really annoying, and I'm glad that we've kind of done away with that. But yeah, you got a year to spend your points, and then there's like a couple other little things, like, oh, if you pre-order a game before the closure of the program, then you can, because now when you pre-order a game, you're not paying for it yet, but then if you're purchasing it after the cutoff date, but you pre-ordered it before, then you can still get points and all that stuff. They have all the little, I don't know the word, whatever, whatchamacallums, just to make sure that nobody feels like completely cheated. They don't want to feel anyone is like rug pulled by this. And you know what? It's lucky for them. This is really lucky for Nintendo, because now people hearing this news is like, uh-oh, I've got that big wish list. And I know that if I'm ever gonna buy the games on that wish list, if I buy them all now, I'm gonna make like some dollars. I'm gonna make like some dollars in gold points. I better rush it and buy them all. I don't know if that'll actually realistically happen or not, but whatever. And you know, it's also disappointing, because with this change here, Nintendo getting rid of the gold points program, they have also announced a similar change, sort of similar, to the voucher system, but that is a topic for another day. I'm gonna go record it like right now. Turn this off and record that one.